You have a lot of motivation coming off that 2-4 season. Now you're coming off a 12 wins. How do you talk about closing the gap? How do you close that gap when you don't have that chip, maybe an underdog status that you had going into last season?
So I'll give you an example. So in the weight room, we go in the weight room and we line our shoes up last year and we put them right next to each other, right up against the wall, 90-degree angle. And that's how we did it last year. We go into this off season and that's how we did it. You know, we line them up like that. And Coach Herbert comes in, he's like, that's not how we're doing this. So instead, so he lines them all up like that in a line and we like measured it out. He's like, instead I want you to flip the right shoe backwards so they're closer together and line them up the same way. So we do that and we see how much of a difference that actually made. So now you take that and you apply it to how we're playing, and like you want to critique more of the fine details than ever before, because like, yeah, we know what it takes, but we also know what it takes to be a 2-4 team as well. So I heard you talking earlier about a chip on your shoulder, and yeah, coming off that 2-4 season, we definitely had a chip on our shoulder. But coming off Big Ten championship season, college football playoff season, we still have a chip on our shoulder. It just looks different. And I think a lot of guys understand that and understand what we need to do to become national champions and what it takes to get there. It's all about just fine details and really honing that in.
Is that another reason why you came back to see it through in a sense?
Yeah, I mean, seeing that success last year, you know, we were right there. We got the Big Ten championship. It was nice. It was a really good feeling. It's been a while, but we're not national champions, and I know that we can be, and I want to go get that with the rest of these guys in this team.
You mentioned players having to be unselfish with all the offensive talent. There's also now 2 offensive coordinators. How has that dynamic played out so far?
Really well. Those 2 guys, Coach Moore and Coach Weiss, they don't have an ego about themselves that, you know, oh, this is going to be my offense or this is going to be my offense. It's their offense. It's our offense. And kind of like, so you look at Cade and JJ, you know, sharing quarterback duties last year, like neither of them had a problem with it. It led to where we got to the college football playoff. And that's where like our coaches are doing the same thing, and like we can learn from that too. I mean, we have 4 tight ends that can help this team, but you can't have 4 tight ends on the field all the time. It just doesn't work like that. And so it's just an understanding of how we work together and what everybody does individually. So like I do something better than Eric does something, you know? And so how are we going to work together to maximize our potential together? And it's the same thing with our offensive coordinators, just working together, you know, finding their own strengths and their own weaknesses and attacking their weaknesses and maximizing their strengths. And I just think it's worked really well together. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed playing for them and being underneath them.
How do you evaluate Eric's talent and his growth he's made so far and where he can go this year in his game?
Yeah, so Eric Alls, without a doubt, like I'd be astonished if you ever found a play where that kid isn't going as hard as he possibly can. And I think a lot of guys play like that, but Eric's just a little bit different because like he literally will do anything it takes to get the job done. And I mean, he's just a good player. He's a smart player, and I think that's what he's really developed since I've been in the tight end room, is he's increased his knowledge for the game. Like he always was good at understanding coverages and stuff like that, but understanding how things work and how the X's and O's move and why they move a certain way is what he's developed to like let him go where he has gone last year and where he will go this year. The effort is like never a thing. Like he's always going as hard as he can, whether it's in training, on the field, doesn't matter. But he's really developed his understanding of the game, as have I, to be honest with you, because being an offensive lineman, like coverages aren't necessarily that important to me. I got to worry about the front in front of me, but you know, he's helped me with that, and coming up from the offensive line, I've been able to help him and Scooney with more like why things work up front, because that's what I learned for 3 years. And so like kind of bouncing off of that, off of each other, that's where I think like we've all really grown from, is just having a better understanding for the game and why it works the way it does.